So, what is connected reception?
So connected reception is a suite of products from CoolCare. It consists of a biometric clocking device, allowing staff to clock in using facial recognition, our digital reception, which is software that goes onto any tablet, allowing you to have a electronic visitor's logbook, and then a feedback engine for gathering information on feedback from service users and visitors. And then our virtual noticeboard, which is a device that turns any HDMI connected television into a live notice board showing staff that are in today, websites, upcoming events, menus, whatever you want to display in your reception, effectively making you have front of house a connected reception.
So, what are the benefits of CoolCare's biometrics?
So CoolCare for a long time has had fob clocking devices. Those that use them know them as Nomad devices. The recent, sort of in the last year, we've launched our biometric, and this allows staff to clock in using facial recognition. So no need for a fob anymore. Just simply tapping on the screen, you're going to actually see my cameraman here, and the cameraman himself is actually a member of staff, instantly clocking in, and then off you go. We do also have the ability to let staff not use facial recognition. Those staff that might object to GDPR, concerns about having biometric data collected by the company, you're able to issue them a card and they can clock in. We find that from customer kind of feedback, 99% of or 100% of staff are absolutely happy with facial recognition. After all, it's how we open our phones these days. But those that don't want that, they can use a card. The device, IP65 rated, so it's waterproof. It's relatively small form factor, very fast acting, very clear visual display that they clocked in with that green bar. You also have you can make it make a noise as well. These would probably normally be mounted on a wall in reception, but in our instance, we actually just have them mounted on a device on our sort of reception table. So it can be anywhere. And ultimately, what you really have here is just a fast way of clocking everybody out. And anybody that's kind of visiting the home certainly knows that you're thinking ahead with technology because you're using facial recognition. So a key component of connected reception is our electronic visitors logbook. You're able to customize the types of visitors that you record information on. So here we have just a sort of standard visitor, but it could also be staff members, professionals, contractors. You can customize exactly what you say when you're asking them to register. So name, email, not email, car license plate number, etc. And they would log in here, and that data is held in the cloud that they have visited the home. This goes in conjunction with the other half of the system, which is the feedback collection tool. So when the visitors are leaving, you can customize the questions that you ask them as they leave. So they could be the main pillars, CQC questions. It could be how did you find the food? It could be absolutely anything. And that feedback is all collated in the system, visible on perhaps a desktop computer for managers to review and go through. As I mentioned, two components of digital reception. The front half is collecting information on the tablet, so visitors popping information in there, being asked feedback questions, all on the tablet. The back part is the data that you collect on these visitors. So here we have the digital reception's home view. You can look at multiple locations. That one was Oak House. Clicking Oak House, you can see all the data of the individuals on site. So how many residents we've got, contractors, etc. Daily arrivals, who's coming and going. There's a weekly feedback that we're collecting. So positive, neutral, negative. You've got outstanding actions, so you can look at how people have given you feedback. What do you want to do with that information? And then you can get in real into detail, because you can have multiple front-end tablets per home. So it could be that they're coming and going through the front or the back. You can again look at that kind of information as well. From a group level perspective, you then have the multiple homes. You're aggregating feedback. You've got group level aggregated outstanding data information you have to work on as well. You can have analytics and exports of what you have here, so you can look at visitor feedback, staff feedback, resident feedback. So they're the key choices on the front of the system are collating back here. You might be looking at, so for example, some negative visitor feedback. Well, what exactly is it? We're seeing that there are certain issues they believe that this home is not caring. They don't believe that it's well led. Well, what about this feedback? Well, that's worrying, because it says they believe it's not caring as well. Yeah, there seems to be a bit of a theme here, etc., etc. So effectively, digital reception is both an e-login register, but also an incredibly powerful feedback engine. So the feedback we're getting from our existing customers that have got CoolCare and have got digital reception is that the inspections they're having from the CQC under the single assessment framework, this feedback is massively covering the area of experiential feedback in the assessment. So you're able to get the feedback directly from the service users, directly from the visitors, and directly from staff if you want it, plus your professionals that are visiting the home, and then you're able to see that feedback, action the feedback. You know, the positive is great, so you're sharing that with your team, but it's the neutral and then the negative. You can action it, you can record what you did about that feedback, and then show over a matter of time how that feedback is now being reduced and moving from the red into the amber into the green, and therefore prove that you're doing exactly what you say you should do, which is to take feedback and handle it and upgrade your processes and your delivery of service. So from a group perspective, if you're interested in what's going on in the individual homes, there are plenty of ways you can export data out of the system. So you've got here outstanding actions that you could be going through with your individual managers. The regional manager could perhaps run this report off, have a look at all their locations, see what's being done about the outstanding actions. There's actions taken, so what have you actually done in relation to some of the feedback you've been receiving? You know, are we walking the talk, as you might say? The system can also connect directly to person-centered software, so that when when residents are being visited by their visitors, the system can also automatically update that PCS care record with the visitor having attended and come to the home. So you've got an area that is covered off quite neatly there without having to update the system twice. The feedback directly feeds through. Then finally, if you have an Autumna premium account, so that's the care home listing service, you're able to ask specific questions and ratings within the feedback on the tablet, kind of comes through the system and goes directly onto your Autumna premium listing. So you can get direct feedback from the users of your home straight onto your listing. And you might say, "Oh, why would I want to do that? You know, it sounds a bit worrying." Well, you know, hopefully you're in a good position. You've got far more green than you have of any other color. But also from a search engine optimization perspective, Google loves a review. There's nothing quite like a review to get you raised right high up, as high as paid advertising in Google. So when you're having reviews coming through directly from users of your service, it boosts your SEO online presence to a level you wouldn't quite believe. Highly worth considering, all fully automated. Nobody has to transfer data, press a button, do anything. Completely does itself automatically, boosting the presence of your own home online, thus helping you with your occupancy and your inquiries. So the third component of the connected reception suite is the virtual notice board. The virtual notice board is a device that allows you to turn any HDMI connected screen into a live virtual notice board. It shows who's in today, directly connecting from the clocking in devices. It can show any web pages that you want in relation to, say, the weather. It can show you upcoming events, today's events. You can have today's menu in there. The system's also designed to allow you to put the data in once and have it repeating if necessary. So, for example, if you have billable extra services such as hairdressers always come in on the second Thursday of the month, you could set the system to say hairdressers coming in next week on Thursday, and then the hairdressers are in today. You've got a menu repeating there, so if your menu repeats on a set cycle, you can pop that in there. And of course, because it's CoolCare based, you're able to have user access privileges that are standard CoolCare functionality. So accessing the virtual notice board could be done by front of house, could be done by your activities coordinator, could be by admin, could be by anyone that you have a given privilege to access the system, but they only access that one area. And therefore, keeping this up to date is very easy. Those elements that repeat, is set once, will just keep going. And those elements that you want to change, they can be done by the person that's most concerned with it, thus freeing up their manager to not have to do anything. And the main thing that the feedback from our existing customers that have the virtual notice board is that the staff and the service users absolutely love it. The entire suite of offerings very much shout subtly that we are a modern care home. Of course, care planning, using the likes of radar, pain check, all these systems are not something that's quite so visible when you walk in the home. Coming in the home and you see, well, I know exactly who's on shift today, whether they're clocked in or not. I can see who the deputy manager is. I have to log in using a digital reception. There's no doubt that this home is modern and up to date and forward thinking. And staff and the service users absolutely love having information easily to access. So if you're interested in finding out more about our connected reception suite, the biometric devices, they're designed to replace the existing fob devices. So you can contact us, we sell the device to you, and then it belongs to you, and it's simply a case of buying the hardware. We also do have the ability to subscribe to owning the hardware. The digital reception logbook, you get your own equipment in relation to the tablet. This is just simply a Samsung tablet, some form of mounting bracket, and then the software is a subscription. And then the virtual notice board, we supply the hardware unit, and the software is part of the CoolCare software. You just supply your own TV. TVs these days, very inexpensive. As long as it has a HDMI connection, it works. And that's also subscription-based service from CoolCare. So all you need to do is contact your sales team or customer success or even support, email us, phone us, any way you'd like to talk to us. We're more than willing to take the call to find out more about what connected reception is all about.